The Z car, a lineage celebrated in automotive history, ignited in 1969 by the revolutionary Datsun 240Z. It was a revelation, a lean, affordable sports car that offered stellar performance and style, quickly becoming an enthusiast favorite. Subsequent iteration evolved the Z's identity. By the mid-1990s, after the discontinuation of the 300ZX, Z32, a heavy, high-tech Gran Tour in 1996 for the US market, Nissan faced a 6-year gap. The Z, a cornerstone of Nissan's identity, was gone. By the late 1990s, Nissan was in dire financial straits. Alfonso Albaisa, then at Nissan Design, would later reflect that the company had lost its soul. The internal sentiment under CEO Carlos Ghosn, who joined in 1999, was to build only profitable, pulse-quickening vehicles. Ghosn initiated the Nissan Revival Plan, and central to this was the return of the Z. Nissan's 2002 annual report explicitly cited the forthcoming Fairlady Z, the 350Z, as the latest incarnation of the classic Z and a highly anticipated car. Leadership, recalling original Z founder Yutaka Katayama, wanted a pure sports car, not a bloated luxury tour. The objective: revive the Z lineage. The journey began with bold concepts. In 1999, Nissan Design International, led by President Jerry Hirschberg, created a retro-flavored 240Z concept. Though it won acclaim with Nissan, executives felt its 2.4-liter engine would be underpowered and its styling too overtly retro. Nevertheless, this concept proved pivotal. It represented a vision that convinced Nissan to greenlight a new Z project, even if the final car would depart stylistically. A second, modernized Nissan Z concept, unveiled at the 2001 Detroit Auto Show, set the tone for the production 350Z. Shiro Nakamura, then Nissan's North American design director, emphasized that the new Z would honor its Z-ness without copying the past. The design team, drawing on studios in California, Nissan Design America or NDA, and Japan, Nissan Technical Center, was guided by a Z DNA philosophy of passion, performance, practicality, and value. Product chief designer Mamoru Aoki led the overall effort. The exterior styling was a global effort. AJ Panchel, a young British designer at NDA, submitted proposals in an internal competition. His vision, selected in 2000, moved away from pure retro, featuring powerful rear wheel arches and distinctive vertical door handles, aiming for a fusion of contrast. Diane Allen, chief designer at NDA's Red Studio, noted the 350Z's long wheelbase and wide stance were intended to evoke an open-wheeled race car. Mamoru Aoki aimed for a form that looked very fluid and relaxed, yet exuded agility, with tight panel gaps and a taut, fastback profile. The result was a sleek, simple silhouette with a flat hood, sharply arched roofline, and a subtle spine running from C-pillar to tail. Nissan even likened its assembly to an airplane fuselage to emphasize its purity of form. Inside, the cockpit was a tight two-seater with a low seating position and a unique instrument binocle that moved with the steering wheel. A center triple-gauge cluster echoed earlier Z's. Critics noted cost-cutting with hard plastics and some trim feeling cheap. The 350Z was engineered on Nissan's front midship FM platform, shared with the Infiniti G35. This placed the 3.5-liter V6 well behind the front axle for near 50-50 weight distribution and balanced handling. At its heart was the newly developed all-aluminum Neo VQ35DE dual overhead cam V6. This 3.5-liter unit produced 280 to 287 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque in the US trim. Engineers gave it aggressive cam profiles, high flow intake and exhaust, and electronic controls to optimize response. A close ratio 6-speed manual with pedal placement tailored for heel and toe shifts, or a 5-speed automatic drove the rear wheels with a limited slip differential on higher trims. In 2005 to 2007, an updated VQ35HR version for manual cars, and later all Zs in 2007, boosted output to about 306 horsepower and raised the red line to 7,500 RPM, requiring a subtle hood bulge. The chassis featured fully independent multi-link suspension front and rear, tuned for sharp handling. Most models got 4-wheel disc, with some high-trim versions featuring vented 4-piston Brembo front calipers. The body was primarily steel unibody with a modest curb weight around 3,300 pounds. At the 2001 Detroit Auto Show, the near-production Z concept stunned attendees. Public, media, and dealer reaction was overwhelming. Carlos Ghosn was explicit. The new Z would deliver performance and high design qualities of today's cutting-edge sports cars at a truly affordable price, aiming under $30,000 US. Production began mid-2002. The coupe launched in July in Japan and on August 20, 2002 in the US as a 2003 model, with multiple trim grades from a stripped base model to fully equipped track versions. The base price was surprisingly low, around $26,000 to $27,000 US. Advertisements boasted $50,000 performance for under $30,000. Reviews echoed this. Car and Driver called it a very satisfying drive with terrific control feel. Evo magazine raved it was hairy-chested, vaguely uncouth, yet hugely desirable. Motor Trend noted its competent chassis and suspension with sure-footed road handling. Hagerty observed it offered roughly double the power of a Mazda Miata at a similar price. Performance was strong, 0 to 60 miles per hour around 5.4 seconds, top speed near 155 miles per hour. Early sales were brisk, aided by the Z's cult image and a gap in the Japanese sports market, with the Toyota Supra ending and others gone. It achieved significant commercial success. Over its 6-year run, Nissan built roughly 250,000 Z33s worldwide, with over 149,000 sold in the US and Canada. The 350Z marked a deliberate return to Z car roots after the Z32, trading some complexity for lighter weight, sharper handling, and greater affordability. Nissan steadily updated the 350Z. In 2004, the Roadster convertible arrived. 2005 brought the 35th anniversary and track editions, with manual coupes getting a 300 horsepower tune. A 2006 facelift saw revised taillights and bumpers. 2007 introduced the VQ35HR engine across the range and the track-focused Turismo 350Z with a seam-welded unibody, Yamaha-tuned dampers, and unique aero. Only about 1,600 made for North America. Its cultural impact was amplified by the Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, and video games, igniting a robust aftermarket tuning scene. Production of the 350Z ended in December 2008. Its successor, the 370Z, arrived for 2009, a refinement of the formula with an enlarged 3.7-liter V6, making 332 horsepower, more aluminum for lighter weight, and a 7-speed automatic option. While an evolution, the 370Z inherited the 350Z's analog, driver-focused ethos. The Nissan 350Z was widely celebrated as a successful relaunch of Nissan's Z's heritage. It reestablished the Z car as a brand halo, demonstrating that sports car purism could still be profitable. Shiro Nakamura believed it had to inspire both appeal and appreciation, balancing flair with durability and comfort. Carlos Ghosn declared that by staying true to the Z's rich heritage while looking strictly forward, the 350Z became emblematic of the new face of Nissan. Its influence extended beyond Nissan, even prompting Toyota towards the FT86 concept, reminding automakers of the value enthusiasts place on manual analog experiences. In retrospect, the 350Z recaptured the essence of the original Z, a raw, exciting, and affordable two-seat sports coupe. It was a story of resilience, innovation, and passion, overcoming financial and design challenges to create a modern classic. More than just a car, it was the reawakening of Nissan's soul.